Hello. This is the third part in our series of atheistic interpretations of the unholy Quran. I'm
Yes,
Dylan.
I'm Ryan, and that is
On Solo.
it's Evan Scott. You dumb.
God, no, no. It's not his last name. Not his last name. Yeah. He just gave it away. Now people are gonna come to his house, and they're gonna do what Bill Robertson said. Yeah, Bill Robertson. That's his. That's his.
Yeah.
Even though he lives in a Christian family.
It's
Okay,
like the
we should.
mascot for Christianity.
Okay, I'm gonna reiterate fair use laws, yada yada yada. Sue us, you'll lose.
Yeah.
You sue, you lose.
Now watch as we unconsensually penetrate the logical errors of the Quran.
God damn it. We'll be starting on chapter 2, line 152. Then do ye remember me, I will remember you. Be grateful to me and reject not faith. O ye who believe, seek help with patient perseverance and prayer, for God is with those who patiently persevere. And say not of those who are slain in the way of God, quote, they are dead, end quote. Nay, they are living, though ye perceive it not. Be sure we shall test you with something of fear and hunger, some loss in goods or lives or the fruits of your toil, but give glad tidings to those who patiently persevere. Who say, when afflicted with calamity, to God we belong and to him is our return. They are those on whom descend blessings from God and mercy, and they are the ones that receive guidance. And mind you, mercy is a proper noun. Behold, Safa and Marwa are among the symbols of God. So if those who visit the house in the season or at other times have compassed them round, it is no sin unto them. And if anyone obeyeth his own impulse to good, be sure that God is he who recognizeth and knoweth. Those who conceal the clear signs we have sent down, and the guidance after we have made it clear for the people in the book, on them shall be God's curse, and the curse of those who entitled to curse. Except those who repent and make amends, and openly declare the truth, to them I turn, for I am oft returning, most merciful. Those who reject faith, and die rejecting, on them is God's curse, and the curse of angels and of all mankind. They will abide therein, their penalty will not be lightened, nor will respite be their lot. And your God is one God. There is no God but he, most gracious, most merciful. Behold, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, in the alternation, is what it says, of the night and the day, in the sailing of the ships through the ocean for the profit of mankind, in the rain which God sends down from the sky, and the life which he gives therewith to an earth that is dead, in the beasts of all kinds that he scatters to the earth, in the change of the winds, in the clouds which they trail like their slaves between the sky and the earth. Here indeed are signs for a people that are wise. Yet there are men who take for worship others besides God, as equal with God. They love them as they should love God, but those of faith are overflowing in their love for God. If only the unrighteous could see, behold, they would see the penalty, that to God belongs all power, and God will strongly enforce the penalty. Then would those who are followed clear themselves of those who follow them. They would see the penalty, and all relations between them would be cut off. And those who followed would say, if only we had one more chance, we would clear ourselves of them, as they have cleared themselves of us. Thus will God show them the fruits of their deeds as nothing but regrets, nor will there be a way for them out of the fire. O ye people, eat of what is on earth, lawful and good, and do not follow the footsteps of the evil one, for he is to you an avowed. For he commands you what is evil and shameful, and that ye should say of God that of which ye have no knowledge. When is it said to them, follow what God hath revealed? They say, nay, we shall follow the ways of our fathers. What? Even though their fathers were void of wisdom and guidance? The parabola of those who reject faith is as if one were to shout like a goat herd. to things that listen to nothing but calls and cries, deaf, dumb, and blind, they are void of wisdom. Oh, who believe, eat of the good things that we have provided for you, and be grateful to God. If it is him you worship, he hath only forbidden you dead meat and blood, and the wine, and that on which any of name hath been invoked besides that of God. But if one is forced by necessity, without willful disobedience, nor transgressing due limits, then is he guiltless, for God is oft forgiving, most merciful. So basically, is that just saying, don't eat pork unless you really gotta eat pork?
Also, I noticed how they say follow what God has, and they say, nay, we follow what our fathers followed, and it takes as like a surprise how they would reject the wisdom that has been discovered and prefer what has been passed down to generations by their ancestors who were more ignorant.
The thing about that is that the writer of this book is saying that those people have no wisdom.
So all the modern Muslims that use that excuse are admitting by their own book that they have no wisdom.
Yep. They're dumb.
Probably wanted to give the pigs a break. Jesus already cursed 200 of them and sent them off the face of the cliff. Probably wanted to give them some room. Okay.
Well, that explains why there was very little police force back then.
Okay. Those who conceal God's revelations in the book and purchase for them a miserable profit, they swallow into themselves naught but fire. God will not address them on the day of resurrection, nor purify them. Grievous will be their penalty. So basically, Christians and Jews, yeah, you're fucked. They are the ones who buy error in place of guidance and torment in place of forgiveness. Ah, what boldness they show for the fire. Their doom is because God sent down the book in truth. But those who seek causes of dispute in the book are in a schism far from the purpose. It is not righteousness that you turn your faces towards east or west, but is the righteousness to believe in God in the last day, and the angels, and the book, and the messengers to speak of your substance, out of love for him, for your kin, for orphans, for the needy, for the wayfarer, for those who ask, and for the ransom of slaves, be steadfast in prayer, and practice regular charity, to fulfill the contracts which ye have made, and to be firm and patient, in pain or suffering and adversity, and throughout all periods of panic. Such are the people of truth, the God-fearing. O ye who believe, the law of equality is prescribed to you in cases of murder, the free for the free, the slave for the slave, the woman for woman. But if any remission is made by the brother of the slain, then grant any reasonable demand, and compensate him with handsome gratitude. This is a concession and a mercy from your Lord. After this, whoever exceeds the limit shall be in grave penalty. In the law of equality, there is saving of life to you, O ye men of understanding, that ye may restrain yourselves. It is prescribed when death approaches any of you, if he leaves any goods, that he make a bequest to parents and next of kin, according to reasonable usage. This is due from the God-fearing. If anyone changes the request after hearing it, the guilt shall be on those who make the change, for God hears and knows all things. But if anyone fears partiality or wrongdoing on the part of the testate, I don't know, I've never heard that word before, and makes peace between the parties concerned, there is no wrong in him, for God is oft forgiving, most merciful. And I've counted that 4 times. There's probably more it's been said. God is sucking his own dick right now. O ye who believe, fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, that ye may learn self-restraint. Fasting for a fixed number of days, but if any of you is ill or on a journey, the prescribed number should be made up from days later. For those who can do it with hardship is a ransom, the feeding of one that is indigent. But he that will give more of his own free will, it is better for him, and it is better for you that ye fast, if ye only knew. Well,
they're saying you should give to charity, you should be good. They act like they're a bunch of egalitarians, but they're actually not.
Well, a lot of morals have been shared between a bunch of religions. Like murder, don't kill people, or you a bad person.
Unless you're God. Unless you're God
or you're working for God. In that case, you can kill whoever the fuck you want.
Yes.
In some cases, even people who worship God.
Mm-hmm.
Just not the same way you do.
Yep. Other people of the book, I don't know, it's confusing. Either it says that the Christians and Jews are A-okay, or they are D for damned. That was terrible.
I believe I read that. It said it was making in reference to the book, capital B, and since the Quran is a book, I suppose, I don't believe they were referring to it. I believe they were referring to the Bible or Torah. So people of the book, you treat with respect. But, you know, they're still just going to go to hell, so what does it matter?
Didn't they say in the Quran in the early chapters that Christians and Jews are going to heaven? So who knows?
Okay.
Okay, now
It's your turn, mister. Your last name is now open to the public.
Yes, it is. Ramadan is the month in which was sent down the Quran as a guide to mankind. Also clear signs by Mel Gibson for guidance and judgment between right and wrong. So every one of you who is present at his home during that month should spend in its fasting. But if anyone is ill, what? Do they just repeat the thing? Same shit. But if anyone is ill or on a journey, the prescribed period should be made up 5 days later.
That's
God has every facility for you. He does not want to put difficulties. He wants you to complete the prescribed period and glorify him, and that he has guided you, and perchance he shall be grateful. When my servants ask thee concerning me, I am indeed close to them. I listen to the prayer of every suppliant when he calleth on me. Let them also with a will listen to my call and believe in me, that they may walk in the right way. Permitted too on the night of the fast is the approach to your wives. They are your garments, and ye are their garments. God knoweth what ye used to do secretly among yourselves, but he turned to you and forgave you. So now associate with them, and seek what God hath ordained for you. Eat and drink until the white thread of dawn appear to you distinct from its black.
Wait. So God knoweth what ye used to do secretly among yourselves.
Oh no, God knows I masturbated.
Oh yeah.
Please, don't kill me.
Yeah, wait. The Muslims accept it. See? God knoweth what you used to do secretly among yourselves, but he turned to you and forgave you. Muslims are masturbation. I'm just going to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, just don't do it in public.
Yeah, but then once you become a Muslim, no more. You're given a free pass if you become a Muslim for all the stuff before.
I wonder what they do when they come in. Are they like, do they do that?
No, they probably like groan like a normal human.
What do they do? Do they make a lot of noises? Okay.
Want me to get grabbed?
Okay. Then complete your fast till the night appears, but do not associate with your wives while you are in retreat in the mosques. Those are limits set by God. Approach not nigh thereto. Thus doth God make clear signs to men, that they may learn self-restraint.
I want to have sex with my wife.
That's too bad. You go to hell. Okay. And do not eat up your property among yourselves for vanities, nor use it as bait for the judges, with intent that you may eat up wrongfully and knowingly a little of other people's property. And okay, I just read that. They ask thee concerning the new moon, saying, they are but signs to mark fixed periods of time in the affairs of men and for pilgrimage. It is no virtue if you enter your houses from the back. It is virtue if you fear God. Then enter houses through the proper doors, and fear God, that you may prosper. So, don't walk through a specific door, you'll be pissed off. Find the cause of God.
If you use,
that's really bad.
if you use the right door and you fear God, you're good to go.
those who fight for you. But do not transgress limits, for God loveth not transgressors. And slay them wherever you catch them, and turn them out from where they have turned you out. For tumult and oppression are worse than laughter. But fight them not at the sacred mosque, unless they first fight you there.
Did you say laughter?
Did I say laughter? Slaughter.
You buried it.
Slaughter.
And you can't spell slaughter without laughter.
You can't. That's true.
Worse than slaughter, but fight them not at the sacred mosque, unless they first fight you there. But if they fight you, slay them, such is the reward of those who suppress faith. So God's like that dad says, if they hit you, hit them back.
Hit them back harder.
Fucking slay them, motherfucker. Okay, Dad. Okay. But if they seize, God is oft forgiving, most merciful. He says merciful a lot. You're like, I'm merciful.
Most merciful.
Oh, I'm merciful. Oh man, I can almost reach my dick.
And he transitions from first person to third person a lot.
Yeah.
Put them on until there is no more tumult or oppression, and there prevail justice of God. But if they cease, let there be. Why do they capitalize let? Okay, whatever. Let's keep going.
Guess it's
Let there be
poetry
no
kind of thing.
hostility Said to those who practice the prohibited month for the prohibited month. So for all things prohibited, there is equality. If then anyone transgresses the prohibition, prohibition. I was terrorist, but I was like, it gets to you. Transgress, you like fear God, and know that God is with those who restrain themselves. Don't restrain when someone hits your nose. The spend of your substance is the cause of God, and make your own hands cut you to your destruction. But do good, for God loveth those who do good.
Oh, oh boy, God loves me.
He does. Or Umrah in the service of God. But if you are prevented from completing it, send an offering for sacrifice, such as your daughter, or ye may not shave your heads until the offering reaches the place of sacrifice. Don't shave your
daughter.
Like my daughter? Or my goat?
And if,
And if any of you is ill or has an ailment in his scalp necessitating shaving, he should either fast or feed the poor, offer sacrifice. And we are
my daughter.
We go, but they're both just so precious to mine.
Peaceful condition again. If anyone wishes to continue the Hajj, he must make offerings such as he can afford. But if he cannot afford it, he should fast 3 days during the Hajj and 7 days on return, making 10 days in all. This is for those whose household is not in the precincts of the sacred mosque, and fear God and know that God is strict in punishment.
Is capitalized. God is.
Yes.
You have to fear God.
Just like Josh fears to God. For Hajj are the months well known. If anyone undertakes that duty therein, let there be no obscenity, nor wickedness, nor wrangling in the Hajj. Whatever good ye do, be sure God knoweth it. And he wants you to know, he wants to know what's good. Did you make this painting at school? I don't want to put this on my refrigerator.
Aw, thanks, God.
Take the provision, and then he just throws it in the fucking trash. Like, I don't fucking care about your painting. And take a provision with you for the journey. But the best provisions is right conduct. So fear me, or you that are wise. It is no crime in you if you seek of the bounty of your Lord during pilgrimage. Then, when ye pour down from Mount Arafat, celebrate the praises of God at the sacred monument, and celebrate his praises as he has directed you, even though before this ye went astray. Then pass on at a quick pace from the place, once it is usual for the multitude. So to do.
You gotta go to a quick pace from the place.
I think they should sing the whole Quran. Just sing it.
Like a rap, but change it up to where it can rhyme.
Yeah. And ask for God's forgiveness.
Quick pace of
God is. Muhammad is my nigga. Or something like that. Or God is all forgiving, most merciful.
Oh my God, he is duck billing his lips trying to reach his dick.
Such a saint.
Like, no, I've almost reached it.
He is duck billing his lips trying to reach his dick. Because God is strict in punishment. Damn it! Grow shrinks back away a little bit. No!
So when you have accomplished your holy rites, celebrate the praises of God, as you used to celebrate the praises of your fathers. Yeah, with far more heart and soul. There are men who say, Our Lord, give us thy bounties in this world, but they will have no portion hereafter.
Okay. So when you have accomplished your holy rites, celebrate the praises of God, as ye used to celebrate the praises of your fathers. That was like the ancient traditions of the fathers, which earlier you have no wisdom if you choose them.
Yar har, fiddley-dee. Contradictions is all I can see.
Let's get salty. And there are men who say, Our Lord is good in this world, good hereafter, and defend us from the torment of the fire. Fire sounds pretty sexy. I think we should go there. To these will be allotted what they have earned, and God is quick in account. Celebrate the praises of God during the appointed days. But if anyone who hastens to weep in 2 days, there is no blame on him. And if anyone stays on, there is no blame on him. If his aim is to do right, and fear God, and know that he surely be gathered unto him. There is a type of man whose speech about the world's life may dazzle thee. Dazzle? That's the most... That's a really, really good word. I like dazzle. Dazzle thee. And he calls God to witness about what is in his heart. Yet he is the most contentious of enemies. When he turns his back, his aim everywhere is to spread mischief throughout through the earth and destroy crops and cattle, but God loveth not mischief. If this is the same God, you probably destroy your crops because you had 2 or more types of crops in one field. You should be ashamed.
Some of them were made for cloth.
Oh man, I really hate that. When it is said to him, Fear God, he is led by arrogance to more crime. Enough for him is hell, an evil bed indeed to lie on. And there is the type of man who gives his life to earn the pleasure of God. And God
Oh yeah.
his devotees.
Oh yeah.
You turn to Islam wholeheartedly and follow not the footsteps of the evil one, for he is to you an avowed enemy. If you backslide after the clear signs by Mel Gibson, I've come to you, and know that God is exalted in power wise. Will they wait until God comes to the clouds with angels in his train?
Wow.
God has a train?
Whoa.
Oh my God. And the question is thus settled. For the God, do all questions go back for decision? Do they? No. Especially with our wisdom teeth and our a lot of other organs that we don't need.
Continue, please.
Continue. Ask the children of Israel, how many clear signs by Mel Gibson we have sent them? Anyone out of God's favor has come to them such as something else, like fries or pears, something like that. God is strict in punishment.
There, his dick just shrinks just a little bit further away from his ducked out lips.
No, please.
The life of this world is alluring for those who reject faith, and they scoff at those who believe. But the righteous will be above them on the day of resurrection, for God bestows his abundance without measure on whom he will. Mankind was once no nation. It never was. But it probably was. We just shat, ate, and just looked at each other. And then God...
And if the one we looked at was the opposite gender, we're like, baby.
But the hunter-forager societies were very small kinship groups that were spread out, often didn't even know about each other. That's just, Paleolithic archaeology.
So basically, they just settled in their living quarters, their area, and they're just like, we're the only people in the world.
As far as they knew.
And then their children went out, and it's like, their children figure out, holy shit, I'm not the only one in my family isn't the only one.
But that's when the primitive Mark Twain once quote, "Don't shit where you eat."
Mankind was still making my
And
ass.
God
Come
sent
on.
messengers to my tidings and warnings, and with them he sent the book of truth, the judge between people and matters, and they differed. But the people of the book, after clear signs by evidence came to them, did not differ among themselves, except this selfish controversy. God, by his grace, guided the believers to the truth concerning what clearly differed, for God guided whom he will to a path that is straight.
Wait,
Okay,
so
straight.
because God hates facts.
God hates facts.
Wait, but the people of the book, after the Pearsons gained it. So you're saying the people of the book are bad? Make up your fucking mind.
No contradictions.
Jesus.
Just like G-Man. We're like the G-Men of the Quran. There's no inconsistencies. There's no contradictions.
Don't question it.
Yep.
No question it.
Just keep missing that G spot.
The garden of bliss without such trials as came to those who passed away before you. They encountered suffering and adversity, and were so shaken in spirit that even the apostle and those who faith were with him cried, "When will come the help of God? Ah, verily the help of God is always near." They asked thee what they should say, "What have you spent that is good? Is for parents and kindred and orphans, and those in want who are wayfarers. And what if you do that is good? God knoweth it well. Fighting is prescribed for you, and you disliked it. But it's possible that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that you love a thing which is bad for you. But God knoweth, and you know not." They asked thee concerning fighting in the month. Say, fighting therein is a grave offense, but graver is it in the sight of God to prevent access to the path of God. To deny him, to prevent access to the sacred mosque, to drown out its members. Tumult and oppression are worse than slaughter, nor will they cease fighting you until they turn you back from your faith if they can. And if any of you turn back from their faith and die in unbelief, their works will be no fruit in this life. They will be companions of the fire and will abide therein. Okay.
Wow. Well, already like a few problems there. I mean, do not fight in the sight of God. He's omnipresent. There's no avoiding it.
I was a big fan of Mel Gibson.
Obviously.
Keep talking about science.
Jesus.
Verily the help of God is always near. Always near. What about now? Have we seen any help from Allah or God in any instances, especially with all that's going on in the Middle East?
Flying spaghetti monster, prove them wrong. Right now. Show these non-believers flying spaghetti monster.
They'll say, well, what happened? Why will they feed the starving children in Africa? The Christian God, he blesses the Super Bowl. He loves Tim Tebow.
God bless
All
America.
those cancer patients.
God bless America.
Allah blesses the airplanes and the fuses.
Over the airplanes. I love airplanes.
I love watching burn.
Ron was playing with an airplane, and then like his mom called him in for dinner, and then he wasn't looking, then he crashed into a building. He's like, shit.
Wait, no, he's holding it like a little kid. Like, oh, no, I'm gonna avoid it. Allah, it's time for dinner. What? Oh no, I broke it.
Oh shit.
Because always remember that science flies us to outer space, and, well, religion flies us into buildings.
Overused quote I've ever seen.
I know.
I know, it's just fellow atheists. Please don't use that anymore. Science flies us to the moon. Religion flies us to buildings. Like, okay, I get it. Okay.
Ryan.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn.
Line
Two
218.
and 18.
This is just one chapter.
Yes, this is.
A very long chapter. The cow is a long chapter.
Let's go. Please.
Alright, fine. Those who believe. I just started and you interrupted me.
You know, patience for the crown.
No.
Those who believed and those who suffered exile and fought and strove and struggled in the path of God, they have the hope of the mercy of God. And God is oft forgiving, most merciful. Duck-billed lips just a bit closer. They... Almost there! Come on!
Yeah, all he needs to do is do that one more time and he'll get there.
One more time without any, punishment is great or anything like that. Lips sealed around. They ask thee concerning wine and gambling, say, in them is great sin, and some profit for men, but the sin is greater than the profit. They ask thee how much they are to spend. Say, what is beyond your needs? Thus doth God make clear to you his signs by Mel Gibson, in order that ye may consider their bearings on this life and the hereafter. They ask thee concerning orphans, say, the best thing to do is what is for their good. If ye mix their affairs with yours, they are your brethren. But God knows the man who means mischief from the man who means good. And if God had wished, he could have put you into difficulties. He is indeed exalted in power, wise. It's not as powerful as one of those most merciful ones, but it got it a bit closer.
It's half. If he gets another exalted in power, comma, wise, it'll be as good as getting the, yeah, you get it.
Okay. Do not marry unbelieving women, idolaters, until they believe. A slave woman who believes is better than an unbelieving woman, even though she allures you. Okay, so in their standards, the unbeliever, as far as deserving spouse, the slave is above the unbeliever.
The slave now has a higher role in society than that unbeliever. God's just fapping.
I can't wait for the Bible reload to the Quran reloaded. This will be way better than our Quran segments.
Well, that's because we're unprofessional.
Nor marry your girls to unbelievers until they believe. A manslave who believes is better than an unbeliever, even though he allures you. Okay, allures you? Okay there. I think you're not necessarily thinking about what's best for your daughter, you're thinking about what's best for you, as far as you and your homosexual desires there.
Don't ogre now, laddie.
Unbelievers do but beckon you to the fire. But God beckons by his grace to the garden of bliss and forgiveness, and makes signs by Mel Gibson clear to mankind, that they may celebrate his praise. They ask thee concerning women's courses, say, they are a hurt and a pollution, so keep you away from women in their courses, and do not approach them until they are clean. When they have purified themselves, ye may approach them in any manner, time, or ordained for you by God. For God loves those who turn to him constantly, and he loves those who keep themselves pure and clean. So this explains why I've never seen a Red Wings patch on a Muslim biker. Your wives are as a tilth unto you, so approach your tilth when or how you will, but do some good act for your souls beforehand, and fear God.
Oh yeah, fear me.
Yeah, I'm scary. And now that ye are to meet him in the hereafter, and give these good tidings to those who believe.
Play. I am a scary. Go. Play.
Blay. And if you excuse me, I gotta get back. Almost there. And make not God's name an excuse in your oaths against doing good, or acting rightly, or making peace between persons. For God is one who hereafter knoweth all things. Okay, and make not God's name an excuse in your oaths against doing good, or acting rightly, or making peace between persons.
Wait, what line are you on?
chapter 2, line 224.
Okay.
Just think about that, how stupid that is. And when you look at his desires, what he wants, what happens now.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there. Muslims, you might want to read the Quran. Just saying.
I hope every Muslim in the world watches this, both because they become rich, second because they need to.
God will not call you to account for thoughtlessness in your oath, but for the intention in your hearts. And he is oft forgiving, most forbearing.
I'm so close.
So close. Not even a millimeter away!
Millimeter? Oh my god, it may as well be.
For those who take an oath for abstention from their wives, a wedding for 4 months is ordained. If then they return, God is all forgiving, most merciful. He made it. He made it. I can imagine his eyeballs just kind of slightly protruding. Okay, for those who take an oath for abstention from their wives, basically, you're holding out on her. Waiting for 4 months. How do they do it?
How did they do it? The women probably don't care.
Well, that was the point. But if their intention is firm for divorce, God heareth and knoweth all things.
Oh, okay.
Divorced women shall wait concerning themselves for 3 monthly periods, nor is it lawful for them to hide what God hath created in their wombs. Now, I'm pretty sure that was created by them having hot sex. Maybe not
Oh,
hot.
no, it's not hot. It was just done in the missionary position.
We gotta do it, come on.
This is a terrible position. I hate this. And the man's like, yep, I know.
If they have faith in God in the last day, and their husbands have the better right to take them back in that period, if they wish for reconciliation, and women shall have rights similar to the rights against them, according to what is equitable, but men have a degree of advantage over them.
Whoa! Bring this to the feminists.
You see, and there could be, the feminists could be complaining about so many actual things. And they, and God is exalted in power, wise, getting further into his throat. Divorce is permissible twice. After that, the parties should either hold together on equitable terms or separate with kindness. It's not lawful for you, men, to take back any of your gifts from your wives, except when both parties fear that they would be unable to keep the limits ordained by God. If ye judges do indeed fear that they would be unable to keep the limits ordained by God, there is no blame on either of them if she gives something for her freedom. These are the limits ordained by God, so do not transgress them. If any do transgress the limits ordained by God, such persons wrong themselves as well as others. So if a husband divorces his wife irrevocably, he cannot, after that, remarry her until after she has married another husband and he has divorced her. Wait. A divorce is only permissible twice. That means that if she wants to give this guy a second chance, that's okay, but then she's stuck with him forever.
Yep.
That is not a good idea.
Well, too bad, so sad. Job said it.
In that case, there's no blame on either of them if they reunite, provided they feel that they can keep the limits ordained by God. Such are the limits ordained by God, which he makes plain to those who understand. When ye divorce women, and they fulfill the term of their idat, do not prevent them from marrying their former husbands, if they mutually agree on equitable terms. This instruction is for all amongst you, who believe in God in the last day. That is the course of making foremost virtue and purity amongst you, and God knows, and ye know not. The mother shall give such to their offspring for 2 whole years, if the father desires to complete the term. But he shall bear the cost of their food and clothing on equitable terms. No soul shall have a burden laid on it greater than it can bear. No mother shall be treated unfairly on account of her child. The child! Nor father on account of his child. An heir shall be chargeable in the same way. If they both decide on weaning by mutual consent and after due consultation, there's no blame on them. If ye decide on a foster mother for your offspring, there's no blame on you, provided ye pay the mother what ye offered on equitable terms. But fear God, and know that God sees well what ye do. If any of you die and leave widows behind, they shall wait concerning themselves 4 months and 10 days. 10 days just... I don't even know what.
It was like God just said, back.
Oh yeah, that long.
No, that's not what I meant. But yeah, now it's what I mean. Now it's what I mean.
It's getting longer and longer the more he's praising himself.
And he's already gone. He's already pretty far down his throat. He's like choking.
It's past his tonsil.
His dick is being burnt by the stomach acid.
No, not quite yet. Not quite yet.
Oh, okay.
When they have fulfilled their term, there is no blame on you if they dispose of themselves in a just and reasonable manner, and God is well acquainted with what ye do. We get it! God is everywhere. God knows.
Now it's just like right above the stomach acid, dangling over. It's burning there because hydrochloric acid volatile.
There is no blame on you if you make an offer of betrothal or hold it in your hearts. God knows that ye cherish them in your hearts, but do not make a secret contract with them except in terms honorable, nor resolve on the tie of marriage till the term prescribed is fulfilled. And know that God knoweth what is in your hearts, and take heed of him, and know that God is oft forgiving, most forbearing.
God's like, oh God, that's painful.
Oh,
God, he can talk even.
Well, yeah, he's God.
He's like, that hurts, so I'm gonna make it stop hurting and keep going until I'm all the way at my anus.
Comes out of his ass, then he just sticks it back in and comes out the other way, kind of like a loop, because he can. There is no blame on you if you divorce women before consummation or the fixation of their dower. Well, now we say dowry, but whatever. But bestow on them a suitable gift, the wealthy according to his means, and the poor according to his means. A gift of a reasonable amount is due from those who wish to do the right thing. And if you divorce them before consummation, after the fixation of a dower for them, and the half of the dower is due to them, unless they remit it, or the man's half is remitted by him in whose hands is the marriage tie. And the remission of the man's half is the nearest to righteousness. Do not forget liberality between yourselves, for God sees well all that ye do. And the remission of the man's half is the nearest to righteousness. Guard strictly your habit of prayers, especially the middle prayer. I've got a special middle prayer that I like to flash people when they're being assholes on the road, for example. It's a bad habit. And stand before God in a devout frame of mind. Yeah, I think God might want to take up on that too, because so he's about to rape himself in another angle here. If ye fear an enemy, pray on foot or riding, as may be most convenient. But when ye are in security, celebrate God's praises in the manner he has taught you, which ye knew not before. Those of you who die and leave widows should bequeath for their widows a year's maintenance and residence, but if they leave the residence, there is no blame on you for what they do with themselves, provided it is reasonable. God is exalted in power, wise.
Comes out of his anus, and that's it.
Yep. So, what do you think?
This book has said all the same things over and over. God is good, God is great, God
It's
tells you not to masturbate.
It's basically kind of like flashcards, psychological flashcards.
You're a Muslim now. You're a Muslim.
Yeah, because when I was making a documentary, they showed us this video. This song rings.
One of us.
Like you'll say, now that I am a Christian, now that I'm a Christian.
And your voice.
My voice.
Now that I am a Muslim. Now that I am a Muslim.
I can suck his dick. Oh, yeah. Oh no, he's too busy doing that to himself.